Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meditation retreat at the Vivekananda Rock Memorial in Kanyakumari has evoked strong reactions from the opposition. But the question today I want to raise is that are we as Hindus still apologetic of practicing our religion in a country where adab, assalamu alaikum and sat sri akal are completely acceptable forms of greeting in all society? Why does one feel embarrassed to greet someone with a Jai Shri Ram or a Ram Ram or a Radhe Krishna? When we see examples of Indian origin British Prime Minister offering prayers at the Gaushala or taking oath on the Bhagavad Gita and lighting diyas outside the 10 Downing Street to celebrate Diwali, it gives us solace that Hindus have come of age. We are no longer embarrassed to embrace our religion and flaunt it for all to see. But why is it that our political narrative continues to be anti-Hindu? Why is it that doing all things Hindu, whether it is meditating at Vivekananda Rock Memorial or opening up the Gaushalas across the country or installing the Sengol in the new Parliament building or doing Shastra Puja of the Rafale jets is looked upon as a political stunt to garner public support and vote? I start my conversation, and joining me on the telecast right now is Professor Madhav Nalapat. And the same question, Professor Nalapat, that today, as Indians across the globe, do we have renewed pride in our religion, in our faith, to somebody who used to just put their heads down and mind their own business, to now a Rishi Sunak or the Norway Member of Parliament or the Australian Senator who have now taken oath for their position, whether it is the Prime Minister or the Member of Parliament or Senator, on the Bhagavad Gita, and they are proud of their Hindu heritage and legacy?
Look, I'd like to point out that the Hindu faith has survived centuries of persecution, and it has survived in a way that in several geographies other faiths could not survive. They were completely overwhelmed by one faith or the other. That has not happened in the subcontinent. And I think that's something which is remarkable. At the same time, there's a very ancient tradition and history which goes back thousands and thousands of years. And it's something that every citizen of India can be proud of. Every citizen of the subcontinent can be proud of, because all of this heritage, every bit of our heritage belongs to all of us. Now, I want to point out that I'm rather surprised by this criticism of the Prime Minister meditating, for a simple reason that meditation is a practice which has been done by tens of millions of people in different countries in the world. Irrespective of what religion you profess or you don't profess, the fact is that the importance of meditation, the usefulness of meditation as a way of enhancing intellectual output, as a way of enhancing clarity of thought, is well known and well practiced and well demonstrated. So quite frankly, Megha, it baffles me as to why everything is seen as political. Narendra Modi has been meditating for a very long period of his life. When he was in his early adulthood, he went and meditated in the Himalayas for a very long time. He did all that. Was there a political motive to that? I don't believe that this has any political motive. It's a personal decision by him, and it's really something which should be looked at in this light rather than be dragged into the mud and mire of politics.
Okay. Himanshu Gulati, he is a Member of Parliament from Norway, joining me on the telecast right now. And Himanshu, how do you view the ascent of Indians in the public life, in the public arena across the globe, you yourself being an Indian origin Norwegian who is Member of Parliament today? And how does your faith, your religion get acknowledged and recognized in public life? And do you also make it a point to ensure that you are following your religion, and in public life as well, you are seen to be following your religion?
So I'm a Norwegian member of parliament elected by the Norwegian people, which is not a Hindu country, but I'm very proud of my religion and being of Hindu descent. And I believe that religion is primarily something private. It's what you do in your own home, but it also forms us as people. It forms our values. It forms how we treat other people. And the good thing about the Hindu faith is that it is in no conflict with any country, no matter where you live, because the values we are taught is that we are all one family. We are taught to be compassionate and kind to everyone. And I think that's one of many reasons why many Hindus are also successful abroad, because the values they have been taught at home and through their faith are values that are appreciated in the countries that they live. I have no problem at all of showing my religion. In fact, when I was first elected to the parliament in Norway, I invited my mom and had a narial breaking ceremony in front of the parliament, and I did so proudly. But what faith I follow is a personal matter, not something I involve in my politics. And I have to admit, I'm also a bit surprised by the criticism that has come against Prime Minister Modi's meditation in India. Now, I'm not an Indian politician. I don't follow Indian politics too much, but we in Norway and Europe proudly promote yoga and meditation as something that everybody should do, regardless of faith and origin. It's also one of those true gifts that I think that Indian culture has given the West and the rest of the world. And whenever Prime Minister Modi does come here to Norway, I hope to be able to invite him for a yoga session in the Norwegian Parliament.
Okay.
So. Those sort of traditions are something that I cherish and am proud of, regardless of faith or origin.
Okay, fair enough. Rahul Ishwar, how do you view when, as Himanshu said, that, when he became member of parliament, he did the ceremony of, Nariyal, that is, then broken at the footsteps of the place that you are then going to be performing as a member of parliament or whichever office you take over. Or for that matter, Rishi Sunak, taking oath on the Gita. Or for that matter, Vivek Ramaswamy, the Republican candidate, speaking about how he's unapologetic about being a Hindu. In contrast to the kind of narrative that is being played out in India by the opposition about questioning every single time the Prime Minister goes for a meditation retreat or he's visiting temples, a narrative being built that this is all for optics, but not just for optics, but also influencing the voter in our country.
One submission. First of all, Himanshuji, very proud of hearing about the coconut breaking, narrow breaking ceremony. History says it was started or given great boost by Shankaracharya from the land of both Madhavji and myself, Kerala. It is said Kera or the coconut comes from Kerala, and it was because of Shankaracharya's influence that particular custom got instituted in India and thankfully even Norway and the other places. See, this is the cultural legacy we share. This is the cultural connect we have. The issue with our friends in Congress is they don't own up that cultural legacy. Had Mahatma Gandhi been alive, he would have happily done that, because Mahatma Gandhi used to be a Ram Bhakt. Mahatma Gandhi regularly used to chant Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram. He believed in pluralism. What happens to our left liberal friends is they believe in Nehruvian secularism. With due respect to Pandit Nehruji, see, Nehruvian secularism in effect and on the ground as a lived experience many times becomes the negation of religion, whereas Gandhian pluralism is a harmonization of everything. Look at the UAE temple, the great Hindu temple. It's a coming together of Indo-Arab and various other civilizational values together. So we mean that kind of synergetic, syncretic culture, that pluralistic framework. Unfortunately, keeping religion, spirituality, heritage, out has been the ultra-left or the leftist agenda for a long time. Rather, Mahatma Gandhi believed in harmonization. He even has read Quran in Hindu temple saying that we should understand that. So this kind of synergetic approach, unfortunately, is missing from the center-left spectrum. And Modi ji is rightfully Modi ji rightly said during Eid times, my house didn't used to cook food. The food used to come from our Muslim brothers. They used to send it. Modi ji is a vegetarian. So this is the give and take policy that India is known to the world. This is how it should be. And this is the great legacy of all the great religions. They share things, they give and take. So Modi ji is rightly doing this. And please, when you come to Tamil Nadu and Vivekananda, please remember it was a 29-year-old Bengali who came to the deep Tamilagam or the Tamil Nadu and reimagined India in the greatest glory. It was 120 to 130 years back. Vivekananda Swami was hardly 28 or 29 when he visited there. And he literally reimagined India in the 1893 World Parliament of Religions. And right now, the whole interest for Veda, Ayurveda, yoga all got started because of Swami Vivekananda. So it was nothing short of a Shankara Digvijaya that Vivekananda performed back in 1893 through his lecture tours. So let us honor that legacy. Let us not find politics and negative points in everything. I hope center-left forces, including Congress, will wake up to that Gandhian Vivekanandan mold where they celebrate all faiths and harmonize everyone.
Professor Nalapa, then, the kind of ideology, as Rahul said, about how the left liberals, whether it is Congress or the DMK, we talk about the TMC, who have been critical of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meditation retreat, and how the visiting of temples, doing yoga, holding these meditation retreats is somehow being painted as the push by the BJP for a Hindu state. And therefore, then the terms calling saffronization of the country come into being. Now, is this legitimate for the opposition to term the BJP as somebody, as a party that is pushing the Hindu agenda, as pushing the Hindutva agenda?
Look, Megha, democracy is about numbers. The Hindu population is about 80% of the country. It cannot be ignored. The fact of the matter is that, for a long time, even the three holy sites, and remember there are only three holy sites throughout the length and breadth of the subcontinent, Kashi, Mathura and Ayodhya. These three holy sites were left in the same condition that they were left by the desecration of Aurangzeb. Nothing was done about them. Now, you had a thoroughgoing reform of aspects of the Hindu faith, and some very unpleasant practices were removed. And of course, some other aspects of reform were brought out. Now, that would have been a good time, for example, to do away with this whole business of triple talaq or indeed easy divorce and make a uniform civil code. That would have been secularism. Instead of which, what happened? You had a Hindu reform bill, but there was no reform bill for the second largest community in India, which is a Muslim community, and a community that is hungry for reform. A community where the women, for example, are hungry for education. Nothing was done. As though to say that, they are content to remain, unreformed or whatever, which is not true. Everybody wants reform, irrespective of faith. So I'm sorry to say that what passes as secularism in India is basically completely avoiding or in fact preventing reform of faiths and basically ignoring the cultural connect and the spiritual necessities of the Hindu faith. This is not secularism.
Right.
This is not secularism at all.
Himanshu, how do you view, somebody who's an outsider who lives in Norway, in Europe, and the kind of reports that are also published in international media that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has inaugurated the Ayodhya Ram Temple and talking about how it has been built on the ruins of Babri Masjid. And when we talk about how the Prime Minister then visits Abu Dhabi and inaugurates the temple, the Hindu temple over there, or for that matter, the temples that have been, the pilgrimages that have been done by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the past, Kedarnath, and there is a negative connotation. How does the average person living outside of India view of the state of affairs and particularly the image that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has built for himself versus one that is propagated in terms of the narrative by Western media?
I think the international media at large have had a very unfair and poor coverage of the phenomenon that Prime Minister Modi has been in India. But what I think has changed it is his popularity in India. The wave of self-confidence, pride and growth that has happened in India during Prime Minister Modi is impossible for us living outside of India to ignore. And today you have Western and international leaders standing in queue to sign trade deals or visit India. So I think there's been a mismatch between what the media has tried to portray and what the world actually sees that the response has been to the Prime Minister's policies in India and the enthusiasm that he creates. So that's probably a bit of a dilemma for the media. I think it's very hard for people outside of India to understand the transformation India has gone through in the past 10 years. But the power and force of such a growing economy, lifting hundreds of millions of people from poverty up to middle class, creating opportunities, and also lifting the pride of the people is something that many countries in the world can learn from. And my own country, Norway, is very eager to do more trade cooperation and also people-to-people cooperation, whether it's yoga and meditation and the things we're talking about, or business with India. That's why we just signed a trade deal with India as well.
Okay. And also, do you think the overall perception of people across the globe when it comes to Hinduism has taken a positive turn? And what has been, according to you, the reason for it? You yourself said that, when you actually became the member of parliament and you had that coconut breaking ceremony, we see Rishi Sunak and he goes to the Gaushalas and he is taking his oath on the Gita. And there have been several, in fact, such instances where Indian origin MPs and senators across the globe in Australia and Canada, they do such kind of ceremonies and these rituals, which are then these are symbolic of them being Hindu and practicing Hindus. So has the perception of the world towards Hindus and Hinduism changed?
I think so, and I think the reason are several things. Number one, Hinduism is a peaceful religion, and peaceful practices such as meditation that people perform regardless of their own religion stems from the Hindu heritage. So that is, of course, a positive connotation. But I think the second reason is that we have so many ambassadors all over the world of Hindu faith, whether it is politicians, now also leaders of governments in other countries outside of India, but also business leaders for some of the biggest companies in the world, actors, others who are living ambassadors and representatives of the Hindu faith, which I think also show the world that these are good, successful people with something right in terms of values and culture.
Rahul, the same question to you. Today, when it is the Prime Minister of India, when it is the head of a state who gets such open acceptance across the globe, and to top it off, when he is the ambassador of Hinduism, and he's looked upon as somebody who's not just a decisive leader, a statesman, but like I said, like somebody who promotes and practices Hinduism. Does this help the cause of Hindus and Hinduism as a religion, which has scarcely been known in the past about what is it all about, what is its origin, as compared to the Abrahamic religions of the world?
See, we have our own shortcomings. There is no shyness in accepting that. Swami Vivekananda, when he came to Kerala, openly called us lunatic asylum because of the wrong casteist attitude we had. But Vivekananda, when he went outside, he always highlighted our positives. This is what a true guru would do. When they come to us, they point out our shortcomings, but when they go outside and talk to other people, they highlight our positives. And why can't Narendra Modi or any Prime Minister be the champion of the majority faith? There is absolutely no issue in that. We are the largest Hindu majority nation in the world, and we are also the second largest Muslim minority or Muslim majority nation in the world too. When PM Modi ji went to Saudi Arabia, I was proud of the fact that Modi ji chose a Kerala mosque, supposed to be the third oldest mosque in the world, called the Chairman Perumal Mosque. And Modi ji gave a gold replica of Chairman Perumal Mosque to the Saudi king. See, that is our legacy. See, I know the legacy of Kerala is that we believe that our Chairman Perumal went to Holy Mecca to meet Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that's how Islam came to South India. and India. So this is the third oldest mosque. Modi ji himself went and honored the Saudi king with this replica of the gold replica of this Chairman Mosque. We are the oldest, one of the oldest Christian communities in the world is in Kerala, starting from nearly AD 52. The Jews came after their temple was shattered by the Roman tyranny, courtesy Vivekananda's words. So they came to us. So pluralism is in our blood. Please remember, there is a huge difference between secularism and pluralism. Secularism is a Nehruvian idea. Pluralism is a Gandhian idea. Mahatma Gandhi was not a secular person. Mahatma Gandhi was a pluralistic, harmonious person. This whole idea that religion shouldn't be in public life, religion should be minimized, or religion should be kept at an arm distance is a leftist idea, is a Nehruvian idea, whom I respectfully disagree. We need identity and harmonization of various identities. That's how they should do. Joe Biden, takes a pledge with Bible. As a Hindu, should we feel offended if I am in America? Absolutely no. America has a great Christian legacy. Saudi Arabia has a great Islamic legacy. India has a great Hindu legacy. Israel has a great Jewish legacy. We should be able to celebrate all. Rather, we have been taught in our system, it is everything negative and negative. And let me conclude with just one line. Mahatma Gandhi explicitly wrote in April 13, 1921, that the three colors of our national flag, saffron is for Hindu community and other dharmic communities, white for Christians and minorities, and green for Muslims. Godse killed, one of the reasons Godse killed Mahatma Gandhi was because Godse wanted a saffron only flag and Mahatma Gandhi chose this tricolor flag. The tricolor flag is the symbol of our pluralism, is the symbol of our harmony. One of the best Christmas celebration in India happens in Belur Mada Swami Vivekananda on December 24, where Hindu saints in the saffron dress take Mother Mary's and Jesus Christ's picture and does the Arati. This is what India has taught the world. So welcome to the new world of pluralism. And if Modi ji is a champion of Hindu Dharma, we should be happy and proud about it. Similarly, we need Hindu-Muslim unity, Hindu-Muslim-Christian unity, and uniting is the way ahead rather than negating any faith for that matter.
Okay, all right. Well said, Rahul. And on that note, I thank all of my panelists for joining me on the telecast and sharing their opinions.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.